I have put 256 hours into Oblivion. It's a little unhealthy, and I guarantee you a lot of you are doing it too, but that is well besides the point. In doing so, I have learned how to absolutely break the shit out of this game, and do all of it on console. Have a problem with too many enemies beating the shit out of you? I'm going to show you how to make weapons that will tear crowds of enemies apart in seconds. Maybe you've already maxed out your speed stat and wished you could just go a little bit faster. Well, I've got you covered there too. Have you ever wondered what's outside the barriers of Tamriel? Not Tamriel, what is wrong with me? We're in, all of this is Tamriel. Outside the barriers of Cyrodiil? Wanted to go through Valenwood? Elsewhere? Ain't really shit to see out there, but I'm gonna show you how to do that too. You got a problem with skooma? You want 500 of them? You can have them in seconds. In today's video, we will be going over how to make some crowd clearing weapons, we will be breaking the speed limit beyond compare, and we will cross the border, and much more. So be sure to stick around if any of that interests you, and without further ado, let's get into it. So before I get into any of this, the first thing I want to say is most of this is honestly probably common knowledge, maybe not common knowledge, but known to some. Oblivion's been out since 2006. These have been problems since the original. I just found a lot of them throughout my first playthrough. I've never played the original, or I played a little bit of it, but I never really beat it. And I thought they'd be interesting to share. So with that being said, our first one is weapon enchantments. And you're going to need a couple things for weapon enchantments. You're going to need access to either Frostcrag Spire, or if you don't have the DLC, the Mages Guild, which are not the Mages Guild. You need the access to the Arcane University specifically because the enchanters and spellmakers are in there. You're also going to need at least one Grand Soul Gem. I will explain why one later, but stick with me for now. I find the easiest place to get them the Mystic Emporium in Imperial City. I don't know why Hagar is here. Disregard him, but they usually spawn 1 to 3 every couple of days. You can also use Black Soul Gems, but I will not be going over such contraband as I'm not trying to get thrown in the Imperial Dungeon. I heard they do strange things down there, and I'm all set. You're also going to need that Soul Gem filled. There is plenty of enemies that will give you a Grand Soul. I find the easiest the Minotaur of the Groves, which can be found in the Arcane Grove, very close to Imperial City. However, do be aware that the first time you come here, there will be a unicorn, and it is fairly tough, as it is an enemy from one of the Daedric quests. Once you have your Grand Soul, you can hop on back over to either Frostcrag Spire or the Arcane University and start our enchantments. Now, when it comes to enchanting the weapon, there's plenty of different ways that you can go about this. As you'll see me do in the video here, I add a few points of fire, frost, and lightning damage on top of fire, frost, and lightning weaknesses. The weakness is probably the most important part, as it gives you the damage multiplier on top of the elemental bonus. You don't have to do, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 different elements. You could, for all intents and purposes, throw in like a 75% weakness to fire and 30 points of fire damage if it'll let you. It really depends on how much energy it takes per hit and how many swings you're trying to get out of it. Personally, this one works pretty well for me, and I've used it on a couple of weapons throughout the game so far. If you have the DLC, there is also a quest called A Wound in Time, in which you can access as soon as you leave the Imperial City sewers from the prison at the beginning of the game. All you have to do is head down to Kvatch, talk to Ilav Drelgoner, or however you pronounce his name. He will send you on a short quest involving an Elder Scroll. You go back and forth with him 2 or 3 times to the dungeon, and after you finish it, he will offer you a free set of armor, whether it be light or heavy, your choosing, and all sorts of weapons, light weapons, heavy weapons, bows, and you can get those as many times as you want. They don't sell for anything, so you can't abuse them for money purposes, but if you don't like fixing armor all that often, you can get consistent amounts of resets. They also do a good deal of defense and damage in ways of plowing through this game, so I do recommend them if you have access to them. Once you have your enchanted weapon all set to go, you're ready to start hacking and slashing your way through all sorts of crowds of enemies. Do be aware that that does not save you from paralysis. Now, if you remember, I said we're only going to need one soul gem, and there was a reason for that. That reason is we are going to duplicate the soul gem. You can also do this to most other items in the game. Not every single item, certain special items like Daedric artifacts. Some Daedric artifacts you can duplicate, not all of them. Just about anything stackable. Ingredients, soul gems, black soul gems, arrows, lockpicks, skooma if you're an addict like me, but we don't talk about my problems because there's not enough skooma on this floor. Body parts if you're that freak. And I've also learned that sigil stones work as well, so if you're having trouble finding multiple sigil stones that you like for armor enchantments or weapon enchantments, you can multiply those with ease. There is another YouTuber who went over this as well, and I will be putting the link in the description because one of the other things I will be going over I did learn from them, and I don't know how to do this on PC, but they describe how to do it on PC well, so if you're looking to do this on PC, I would say go check him out. I am a little fast when I press my buttons. I have no patience. I've been told that a lot, and I know it's okay. I'm used to it. But when you're in a chest, it doesn't have to be empty, but it's a lot more useful to be empty, so you'll make sure you're hitting the right item. You're going to want to put a singular item, the one you're trying to duplicate, in the chest, such as a lockpick or an arrow or any of the things mentioned previously. Then you're going to want to put your cursor over anything that has 3 or more of that object in your inventory. Otherwise, when you hit the button, it's just gonna send one of them into the chest. You're gonna want to press, if you're on PlayStation, R1 and X, or if you're on Xbox, right bumper and A at the exact same time, so that it tricks the system into thinking you're trying to send that item into the chest, but also sends your cursor into the chest and picks up as many of the item as you had selected of whatever is in the chest. I know that sounds a little confusing, but it probably looks a lot easier in the video with the explanation. I recommend, such as the other YouTuber did, using lockpicks as your multiplier because they weigh nothing and you can have as many of them in your pocket as you want. But I think this is a useful tool for second playthroughs, or anyone that wants to mess around with it for the first. If you're stuck in a dungeon and have only one health item. Also, I've used them on Weckland stones, which I find very useful because that's damn near infinite magic. And if you're anything like me, or probably a lot of Bethesda players, you're likely to have a treasure room set up somewhere in Cyrodiil. Personally, I like using the pirate ship in Dunbarrow Cove, but to each their own. As you can see, I have most certainly multiplied a lot of things. There are definitely a lot of items in this room that should not have more than one of in the game. Also really good for making treasure chests. Next, we're going to be learning about the level glitch. This is the one that I found off of Jito, and again, I would definitely check out his channel and this video if you haven't seen them already. All you're going to need for this one is one unspent level, which can be very easily attained if starting a new playthrough by spamming Restoration or Sneak or any of the easy spells to grind. Once you've done that, you're going to want to find yourself a bed so you can level up. Don't judge my boy Jareed. He's handsome and he is not a gay fish.
You're a rapper. Yes. An entrepreneur. Yes. And you like fish sticks. Yes. You're a gay fish. No, I am not no gay fish.
The first thing you're going to want to do is make a normal, regular save. Save one, not an autosave, not a quick save. Then, you're going to want to quick save as well. Very important that you quick save. Sleep in the bed for an hour so you level up. Spend your level points. Quick save again after you level. And then load the original save. Not the quick save, but your solid save. Something to mention before doing this is you're going to want to have quick load mapped to a button. While you are loading into your save, spam the button you have quick load mapped to, and it should glitch out and go into another level up screen with you being level 3 rather than level 2. You're going to want to quick save again after this level. Load the original save. Spam quick load. You can do this as many times as you'd like until you are max level and have all of your skill points filled out. I found this very handy towards the end of my playthrough as I was tediously grinding out Alteration and Illusion and all the other things that I just don't use very often throughout my playthrough, and I thought that was very helpful. Something important I would like to note about this, and I mean seriously take heed in this advice, I would not level boost unless you are genuinely prepared for the disaster to come until after you take care of the Oblivion Gate in Kvatch. There have been numerous reports of people boosting their level past 15, doing all sorts of side quests, other objectives before the main quest, and then getting to this gate in Kvatch, and the amount of enemies that spawn factor with your level. So if you're a higher level going into these early on missions, you're going to get hit with swarms and swarms of enemies, and usually that would not be a problem, especially if using the crowd clearing weapons that I mentioned earlier in the video. However, the gate in Kvatch has very, very tight hallways and pathways that you can't really squeeze through all that well. So keep that in mind before you decide to run through the entire game at level 50. The second to last thing that I want to go over today is going to be overcapping the shit out of your stats. I mostly use this for speed, but you can essentially use it for anything. Have you ever wished you could, just run at the speed of light? Well, now you can. There's quite a list of things to start with here. This one isn't completely necessary, but if you start the game with your race as a Kaiji, you do get a good boost to your speed stat. You're going to want to pick the Steed birth sign, as that gives you a permanent plus 20. You're going to need Frostcrag Spire, or access to the Arcane University, so that you may enchant stuff. For speed, you're going to need to max out Restoration. Certain stats have different skill requirements. You're going to need a full set of armor, along with a couple of rings and a necklace. You're going to want some speed potions. You can make them yourself, however, without the proper equipment, skooma is almost always going to be the better option. The last thing you're going to want for this is either a bunch of magic restoration potions, the instant kind, not the ones with lasting effects, or personally I use Welkin stones. I just grab one from an Eyelid temple and multiply the absolute shit out of that thing. Once you have all of the required, you're going to want to make your way over to either Frostcrag Spire or the Arcane University and go up to the enchantment station. You're going to want to enchant your full set of armor, your rings and necklace with whatever stat you might want to boost. For the purposes of the video, I'm doing speed because I'm a crackhead. I like fucking with speed. I also made a set of intelligence increasing armor so that I can cast spells that cost more, making it so that I can create longer lasting spells. When it comes down to the skooma, the speed potions, and the Welkin stones, you're probably just going to want to duplicate them, like I had mentioned before, so that you have a good decent supply of them, because you will most likely use them fairly often. The last thing we are going to need for this is the speed spell itself, and this one is fairly easy to do. Like I mentioned before, you're going to need whatever stat correlates to the spell you're trying to make at either its highest number or high enough to your satisfaction to make the spell you can. With restoration at 100, I can make a speed spell that gives me a 100 point boost to my speed for at least 100 seconds. If I'm wearing my magic armor as well, I'm able to cast that spell. With the Welkin stones, you can kind of just sit there, hotbar the speed spells and the Welkin stones, and spam Welkin stone after speed spell, and if you make more than one of the spell, you can stack the spell effects, so long as they have different names. You'll see I make a whole bunch of speed spells and I just change them little by little: speed 1, speed 2, speed 3, speed 4, and I can get as many boosts as I can have lasting, and then you can kind of just go nuts.
You back up at the top where your tower is?
I'm walking. I'm walking.
You're walking?
I'm walking. Now I'm running. I can't stop. I can't stop. Another thing I like doing with this is using the spells to make area of effect spells or touch spells, which turns NPCs into crackheads. Well, maybe not people as much, but this deer.
No fucking way.
Or, you know, you can give yourself a true horror experience by sending enemies flying at you at light speed. Or even take your horse through a nice swim in the ocean. It's also really useful for staying away from highway bandits.
Easily done.
Last on our list is making our way down to this little spot right outside of Anvil and breaking the barrier of Cyrodiil and getting the fuck out of here. You can't keep me here. You can't keep me chained up, locked in this one place. It's not happening. If you go right to this little corner across from the P and Purid River, just between these two trees, about where this red mark is, there is a hole that leads to the outer rim of Cyrodiil. And at first I thought I kind of glitched through the wall. You'll see here I was a little confused.
Why can't I go this way? I want to go to Valenwood. Wasn't it just telling me you can do it?
Uh-huh. Like... But upon further inspection, I realized there is literally just a hole in the wall. And I'm not sure if the devs did this for any specific reason, or if it was an accident. They just didn't patch it up properly, but it's here. You can go out. You can explore. There isn't really much to see outside of vast open plains, forests, and whatnot. The closest thing I've seen to look like what it's supposed to is Skyrim, and that's just because it's a whole bunch of snow. Though it is kind of fun just to run around, test out my speed spells and whatnot, and that is exactly what I'm going to do here, because I have prepared 50 of them. And with the method that I mentioned earlier, where I hotbar all my stuff, I cast a spell, I use a Welkin Stone, I cast a spell, use a Welkin Stone, cast a spell, repeat until all 50 of those are used, and this is the result. Alright, so it's actually been a few days since I recorded this part, and I don't honestly remember just how fast I went. Popping the last few spells now, I also want to mention that when you level up your alchemy, once that's at 100, you can consume 10 time-based potions at once, allowing me to consume 10 skooma in this one sitting. I want to see how high this gets. Pretty sure it was like 5,000 something, which is insane for a stat. Yeah, 5,370. Oh my god. Oh my god damn! Holy shit! Well, I wasn't even running. I wasn't even running yet. Holy shit! Oh my god, I'm flying. Oh, I'm literally flying. Good god! Okay, I think... Am I putting on my water walking necklace? Yep. Oh my god. It was actually insane. I'm pretty sure I was able to do 70 spells as well, not the 50 that I mentioned before, because I had some before setting up for this. Note, it is not a good idea to save. I mean, you can save in this area technically, but when you load in, it puts you in an inn in the Imperial City with a random deer that's just running around like it has no fucking clue where it is, because it has no fucking clue where it is. As you'll notice, you do just kind of fall infinitely at this point. There's no real saving that. So, yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe got some useful information out of it. I know I definitely enjoyed the last 280 hours I put into this. Thank you all for watching. If you didn't know any of this, let me know. Leave a comment about if it might have helped you or not. Leave a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, I leave you with these beautiful pieces of art.
So, I'm now realizing shit that I don't necessarily like too much. It costs money to enchant shit. I've been saving all of my Buddy.
Right.
Oh, hello. How goes it?
there a problem? What can I do for you, sir?
Not that again.
Don't try anything.
Don't give me a reason to prisoner. Don't give me a don't give me a reason to kill you.
What is happening here? Are you enemy? Are you friend? Foe?
Enemy.
No way, man. There's no enemies here.
Come back. Stop. No, come back. Come back. No, stop. Aaron, no. No, it's picked up speed. It picked up speed. Stop rolling, you fucking round piece of shit. Oh my goodness.
You need atomic splits.
He really is.
No. Why didn't you think they were points? Oh god, there's more trolls. There's trolls fucking everywhere. What the fuck? There is a total of 4 trolls chasing me right now. Well, one of them just smacked you in the back of the head.
Ha! No, you fucking idiot!
Here you said something. No, there's no way.
Help! I'm being attacked!
Shut up.
I just...
May you rest in peace. Totally not me thinking I'm safe for some reason.
Stop!
You violated it!
Oh, that's it.
Down to West Philadelphia where it's Lauren Wayne's.
Just gotta grab him by the fucking tail. That's all. Dog. Oh my dog.
They say that Oblivion gates have opened outside cities all across Tamriel.
Yeah,
Bye.
everyone's been saying that. That's all you motherfuckers know what to talk about, apparently. Goodbye.
I saw that, you freak.
Why are there so many of you over here?
Speak.
Good lord,
You have my ear, citizen.
am. No, I don't. I really don't. I don't know why you guys consistently think I just carry your ears in my pockets. That's not a normal thing. You know that, right?
Speak.
What do you need, champion?
You have my ear, citizen.
Oh, I don't.
Like, clearly he does. He clearly wants the shit. Wait.
I'm just warming up, you pathetic world.
I punched him. I punched him.
Punch 2.
Him.
A few moments later.
Like... And now the guard works. What?